Let's keep the party going. This is the most exciting headline of the day. I saw this on the agenda and was like, I can't wait to see what he's going to talk about. Because you all have passwords, I have a password, and apparently they all suck. So Scott from FYEO is going to come up and tell us why and what to do about it. Give him a big round of applause. Welcome. Scott?
Thank you very much. Hopefully we can all hear. Hi everybody, my name is Scott Carlson. I am currently head of innovation at a company called FYEO. It stands for Your Eyes Only, just like our password should be for our eyes only. People who don't know me, I was lucky enough to have been involved in Solana starting in December of 2018, working with Anatoly and the team to do the first sort of proof of claims audit on the chain. And then since then, was lucky enough to work with kind of the 0.1 and 1.0 of a lot of the major protocols. So been around a long time and have worked in this space for a while. One of the things that we have learned as kind of more long-term auditors and security people in this space is that it's not always about the blockchain and it's not always about the contracts. Sometimes it's about the human beings. And so this talk is a little bit different because I'm not going to focus on problems with Solana. I'm going to focus on problems with you and me and our behavior. One thing that we don't do often enough, especially when we're inventing new technology, is we don't underestimate the person and the people and what they are capable of not doing with our technology. If you put a button in the middle that says push here, I guarantee you will find somebody who can't push there. When you take a look at your life and what you put a password on, what you put a key on, what you put a secret PIN code on, I guarantee it's one of these things in this box. It's GitHub, it's Dropbox, it's Gmail, it's Microsoft. One of these things holds your security cameras at your house. It holds your bank account information. It holds a copy of your seed phrase. Something on this list is so important to you that you put something financially or legally or lawfully important to you in it, and you might protect it with just a password. The thing as humans, one of the things that we know and we've heard is it's really hard for us to remember things. We can only remember 7 phone numbers and 30 names, and we sometimes forget our spouse's birthday. Why should we remember a seed phrase or a password or anything like that, especially when it comes to protecting something as important as your money on a blockchain? So what I want to do today, and Israel is an interesting place to do this talk because of almost everywhere on the planet, this country plays for real, and you have really good OPSEC yourself here. So hopefully not all of this applies to you, but everywhere in the world we have found this material runs across and people go, oh yeah, I do. So let's think about why this matters. When you take a look at how fast computers are in the world today and how kind of short passwords are, let's call them 10 characters. Your average password attack kit can break into every password in less than 1 day, in less than 1 month. If you take a look at all of the password lists that are on the dark web, and FYEO has a tool that has like 41 billion hacked credentials in it, if you run a computer against this, and I'm talking about a regular Amazon image or your Mac, you can break every single encrypted password that has one of these bad sort of seed phrases or use a standard Linux encryption in less than a day. Your password has now been exposed on the dark web, and I can go log into the thing as you. That's pretty scary considering, and I know I am guilty, you use the same password for more than one thing. What we have known, and I'm an American, my Experian was hacked, I was part of the government data breach, and I was part of the State Farm breach. Those 3 companies have exposed 300 million Americans, including me. There are only 350 million Americans, right? Everybody is already breached, which means their password is leaked out there for people to crack. Very few of us have a password that is sophisticated and in the green unless we use LastPass or something like that. When we took a look at our database, again, there's billions of credentials, This list is the most common set of passwords. People who do this look at this and they're like, yeah, but why would you make your password 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6? And you know what? I'm guilty of QWERTY. My Netflix password was QWERTY for a lot of years because that's what my mother could remember. It had nothing to do with OPSEC. It had to do with risk. It was just my Netflix account. Who cared? But as I went through the internet, my little Google password manager 5 years ago would come up and say, oh, do you want to use the same password? And I would say, sure. So pretty soon all of these internet sites I was on used QWERTY just because I was lazy. It didn't really matter. It wasn't my financials. But I know all of us are guilty of this. And honestly, it probably doesn't matter when it's your Netflix. But it starts to matter when your PIN code on your phone is 1234 or 1391379. Or people have an Android, you go to the left, you go around, you do a circle. Like, that protects your whole life. Your iPhone starts to record all this stuff. Your Google Chrome starts to record all this stuff. What we are starting to see malware do is it logs into these things, scammers start to use social engineering, and they start to say things like, hey Scott, I've breached 20 of your passwords. I probably have access to something you want. Maybe you should pay me some money so that I don't start breaching your stuff. Some of these accounts allow you to reset your phone password. They allow you to reset your Gmail password. They allow you to mint, burn, transfer money. Some people don't remember that Google has a recovery thing. If you lose your Google password, you basically lose access to Gmail and Google Drive and all of the things that you can reset from there. If you lose your phone PIN, suddenly you have access to SMS. Suddenly, you can do SMS recovery on everything and reset your password on everything, and then you lose. It's a 2 or 3 hop, you lose everything process when your password is breached. In crypto, especially on crypto Twitter, Discord, Telegram, you will get socially engineered multiple times per day because we have FOMO. Like, it's a big joke in the crypto world because we mint cause FOMO. I personally get really, really upset that I don't have the right FOMO sometimes. I missed the important mint that went to 100 SOL or 1,000 SOL. The money in crypto causes us to have bad behavior. And that allows us to fall victim to social engineering, to give up our passwords. What we're starting to see here, and I added a couple of things people might recognize on this pixelated screen. I get airdrop things to my Phantom wallet all the time that say, ooh, you have won an airdrop. Go to this website and connect your wallet. Don't ever do that. No project will ever give you a link inside an NFT to click to get the reward. And if they do, please send them to me so I can educate them that they shouldn't do that. If it is too good to be true, it is too good to be true. Like, really, please, please, please believe this. Don't chase it because somebody in Telegram said, quick, hurry, go, mint it. Don't click on the Discord link because it probably is a Chrome password stealer. It probably is a website fisher. It probably is an iframe expert. When you take a look at all of the ways to get information about you, I would rather somebody dumpster dive outside your house and get a piece of paper that you wrote on than have a dropper in an email or a malware or reuse your password QWERTY 12345, then do something more sophisticated. When you take a look at how you lose, and we as humans will lose sometimes in our life, let it not be a basic to guess password. Let it not be your mom's first name as your recovery key. Let them at least try really hard. In security, we know that there is somebody on the planet smarter than us, and given enough resources, they will always win. The best we can do as people is to have diligence to not let the basic stuff happen to us, and that's why this talk is called Your Password Sucks, because it is so easy now with the tools. FYEO has a password tool, there's 1Password and others. It is so easy to generate a password on your device and on the internet that there is no longer an excuse to lose to something silly like a password list that everybody on the internet has access to. It's the first thing that they try. Please don't lose money, have your NFT stolen because you fell victim to one of these things. A couple of things that you should pay special attention to, especially in the world of crypto Twitter. We like to chase scarcity. There's only 10,000 of something. Please come mint it. This is the super special opt-in group. Come and post 1,000 times on Discord. Join the Telegram. Retweet it 6 times and click on this link to get access to the whitelist. Really? Why do we have to do this? Why do we have to make a human being click on a thing and jump through a hoop to expose themselves to get something? Like, we are causing this problem as a security community. I wish we would change this behavior. When we take a look at the hurry and mint now culture, when we take a look at the FOMO, when we take a look at the free gifts, yeah, actually a lot of projects have been super successful because of this. This is how you build excitement. You build FOMO. But it also allows the bad guy to chase that FOMO. Mad Lads is a really good example of this recently. They had the biggest bot attack ever at the first mint, broke Cloudflare, one of the most popular and smart people in the Solana ecosystem launched it. Everybody had eyes on it. The minute it finally was successful, I got an Instagram message from Mad Lads with 2 L's. And it said, hey, did you miss the mint? I have a special offer for you. We have a few left over. If you just go to this website, we'll do a special mint for you because we know you missed out. I have to admit, I've been doing this for a long time. I personally know Armani, and I was like, oh, thank God he finally thought of me. And then I was like, but he would have just telegrammed me. Like, he wouldn't have hit me up on Instagram and followed me with the Mad Lad accounts right before that. Right? It didn't fit the behavior. And so I played with the scammer for a while, now the account's gone, but I have to imagine that a few people were like, oh, finally my chance, and they clicked it and they did it. And it was probably a wallet drainer. And that's not okay. Wallet drainers are not okay. AI is going to be interesting with the kind of next authority thing and the next one I talk about. It is really easy to pretend to be anyone you want. I think, the study says something like all you need is like 30 minutes of audio from somebody, and you can be them with an AI-generated, perfect voice thing to pretend who they are and that they have authority over you. I previously worked at PayPal, and one of the things that we ran into when we were doing due diligence on somebody is the real-world example of how pretending to have authority can cost a lot of money. In this case, it was almost $50 million. There was a Christmas party, and somebody called the chief financial helper, not even the CFO, and said, hey, we're trying to get this deal done before the end of the year. I need you to wire transfer some money. That's how they all start, right? And the person said, okay, let me verify, let me call you back. The guy's like, great, I'm gonna fax you some letterhead, here's my business card, here's the website. So the person went to the website and verified, called them back, and the secretary answered, called something back on letterhead. It was actually a law firm. It was actually had a person that actually answered and had a deal. And the person's like, great, started the process to wire transfer money. Did all of the verification that they should. Turns out it was somebody pretending to be authority and was a scammer. At the Christmas party, the person went up to their CEO and said, hey, I did the deal you wanted, I wired the money to Asia. And the CFO said, well, you're not doing a deal right now. And what they found out is all of the business controls had been followed. The person verified, 2 people approved it, multi-sig anyone? They escalated, they used the system, and they sent the money per standard banking rules. The only thing that wasn't true is they fell for the authority. They didn't verify in person. I don't know how we overcome some of this when anybody on the other end of a phone can pretend to be somebody else now. When I can make a video be any president I want, or maybe even my mom pretty soon. When AI bots on the telephone can use a voice of somebody you trust. They just did this on the news in America the other day. Some trained engine like pretended to be the host and called her friend who sat next to her desk and said, "Hey, I'm so-and-so, can you bring me a coffee?" Or whatever it was. And the lady just brought her a coffee. She's like, "That wasn't me." And so we're going to see a lot of authority and fake impersonations as we come, especially because you trust them. We say in the blockchain world that you can trust code. In the real world, you trust human beings. We're kind of at this really weird squishy point where if my code hasn't been audited, I can't trust the code. And if AI or VR AI can pretend to be anybody, I can't trust the human. We're back to verifying in real life things before we take any action. Like, how much is enough? Is a single password going to stop you from sending money for something? No. Doesn't matter how strong your password. No. But what matters is we start to teach people that they have to have operational security OPSEC over what they're about to do. In the world of information security, there's these things called controls. You have a control point at a certain phase in your project or life. When you go to your bank, that control point is a login, a password, and maybe a 2FA. That's a control point. When you send $50,000, the bank has fraud controls, and KYC is another control. When we see crypto Twitter, when we see chatbots, when we see Telegram, those control points are not there yet. If we start to give away something as simple as our phone number, our password, and our email on something that has no control points, these attack people can get through everything that does have control points. This is why something like password, the reuse of passwords, the strength of passwords is so important in this space. Because we still believe passwords are the entry point to a lot of these things. So what do we do? I mean, we can't build a better human. We can't automate all the things because there's still humans in the way. People still are going to have FOMO. All of this stuff you have seen infinite times in your life, but please think before you click. Really, 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 really please think before you click it. I've been doing this for 25 years and I still almost click some things because I'm a little bit too hurried. I read on crypto Twitter like every week, somebody who owns one of the big NFTs is like, "Ugh, I just fell for one. It was 4 in the morning and I was tired and I was going to stake something and I did a loan thing and now all my stuff is gone." And they're like, "Please give it back." Please don't fall for that and have to say, "Please give it back." Links are really tricky today, especially when it pops up with a box that said, "Please enter your password, please enter your seed phrase, please click here to verify." It's prompting you as a human to give that away. We should probably start teaching things in school like this, because everybody is on the internet, everybody has a device, everybody has a gadget. It's going to take 1 or 2 generations before we have the tools in place. But when you get a message like this on Discord, and I'm sure 100% of the people in this room have gotten a friend request on Discord because you're in a group, and it says, "Hey, I'm in a trading group, would you like a special mint? I can get you on the whitelist, just click 5 of this." I don't know, there's 6 or 10 that are reusable. And I bet you some in this room, I don't really know who all is here, maybe you have hired the marketing agencies that go do this. Please stop doing that. Never share your password. People say, I would never share my password. Well, I give it to my family for Netflix. I give it to my team because we just can afford one GitHub account. And so I share my passphrase for all of them because I have my treasury on one ledger. You would never share your password, right? You just have one Amazon root account that you share. You would never share your password, right? We do every single day in this room. 100% of us have walked over to a teammate and said, "I know we only have one account. We only have $20. I only want to buy one. Here is the password for the really important thing. Don't give it to anybody else. I've had too many projects lose their entire treasury that they just received from a VC because they shared their password or key. Even if you put multi-factor on this, even if you put multi-sig on it, it is just an extra hurdle that is pretty easy to overcome unless you do it right. In some cases, multi-sig is just 2 phishing attacks, not 1. Yes, you have team stuff and it's safe sometimes, but please don't fall victim to the basic ones. Please don't do basic sharing on the stuff that allows you to redeploy code, spend money, move tokens around, or mint. Sometimes keys and passwords are the same thing, and sharing those are really bad. I also see a lot where people, and I had to put this in here, don't put your seed phrase on your computer. If you don't have any money in it, fine, who cares? But if you've got $1 million on your ledger or super really important NFT.com somewhere, don't have your seed phrase there. Don't keep it in your primary wallet. Please take the appropriate precautions here. There's been a lot of talk about passkeys. Apple's doing it, Google's doing it. A lot of authenticators. That is the future. They will put a key that is assigned to you on your gadget. They will very likely put geolocation with that. Samsung and Apple have started to do things like, oh, you have 2 devices that are yours, and you're in your house, and you've been at this IP address before, now you can log in. We'll definitely start to see some of that. But it will be at least 10 years before all the Web 2 websites and the Web 3 chains catch up, where it won't let you mint unless you have your iPhone with your passkey on it. In the world of blockchain, is it okay with the fully decentralized on-chain thing to say, you can't do it without an authenticator and a phone from Samsung or Apple, and you have to be at your house that has an IP address from a provider that can track? Like, we've just created a secure environment that has hooks into the things we don't want to trust in order to make Web3 safe. We have to share sometimes today, but do it with caution. It's not a surprise that social media is where people get burned the most. People don't walk up to you and say, hey, give me your password. You click something. It's on crypto Twitter. We all follow the accounts. It wouldn't surprise me if 100% of the people in this room, except maybe this half of the wall, hasn't followed somebody to get on the whitelist. And then you start to get messages on Twitter that say, doing an airdrop. Click here, follow this account, and reshare. We have all done it. We've all seen it. I get them every day. It really just follows the FOMO tactic. I mean, I can't explain it anywhere else. Please don't trust crypto Twitter. Maybe follow it. Maybe it actually is how it flows. The people with the money create crypto Twitter. The scammers with the bots post on crypto Twitter. Very likely the people in this room don't have $50 billion worth of Bitcoin they're gonna whale into something. We are probably the victim of these tactics. They are probably know something about us if they target us. They might even have a list of our passwords. Sometimes it's not about you doing anything at all. It's about you being scared of the man. I don't want to update my device. I don't want to buy something new. I don't want to patch my Windows machine because it might break. There are a lot of 0 days out there. This country should know better than most because I think it's the home to all the 0-day companies who break into this stuff. Please patch your things. Please do it quickly because there recently have been things like an iOS exploit where you could get a text and you wouldn't even need to click on it. You just had to look at it and it would root your device. I don't know how we overcome things like that other than having multiple sets of controls in place to protect people. It's a little bit of a life change to use a password manager, but as of right this second, it's the best way to not let this kind of overarching thing happen to you, where they steal your password or device or whatever and log in at you. The primary product of FYEO is FYEO ID and FYEO Domain Intelligence. We have a password manager. You can download it, it's a Chrome plugin on your computer, and it will help you create strong passwords. If you don't believe in Chrome, then Microsoft has a generator, Apple has a generator, there's 1Password and Password Plus, and there's a ton of enterprise ones. Please use a password generator and store it somewhere to allow you to put your important things behind a super secure password. I honestly don't care if your Netflix password is hard or not. I care if your bank account is, I care if your Twitter is, I care if your social media accounts, I care about your money. At some point, we're releasing our agent, which will allow you to block phishing sites. It's out there right now. You can download it and start to use it. Phantom has a few things, a few open source decentralized things out there. One of the things that we have done at FYEO is we have built an AI tool, but it's a set of automation that basically crawls all the domains as they're registered. It looks to see if it's a phishing site and it's duplicated well-known sites, and it allows this plugin to block you when you click on the site. So if I clicked on Mad Labs with 2 L's, it would have said this is a phishing site, don't mint. It blocks it in the browser. We're starting to see more and more protection like this when a certificate is bad. We're seeing more and more wallets say, I don't know what this site is, it's not the verified one. But this is a really good set of control points that people are putting in place because we know we can't stop people from reusing easy passwords. We can't stop people from getting their machine taken over. And we decided to do this for the hacker houses. We partnered with Holoplex. You can mint the Tel Aviv exclusive Your Password Sucks NFT and Holoplex. We did this a little bit differently. I think Andy had one before where you just scanned it with your wallet and it minted it. Thankfully, we trusted him to have that not be a wallet drainer. And I'm going to ask him to help me build a wallet drainer so we can teach people a lesson how to do it safely at some point. So we do it behind Holoplex, behind a Gmail account, so that you can't get phished, you can't get wallet drained, and we don't take your password. So we did it a little different way in the more enterprise way for this NFT. If anybody wants to scan this, I have stuff back here. And that's it. Thank you very much. I'm around to talk about security or audits or passwords or cyber for the rest of the day.